Hello world, Wendy from Cali here, back with our Mixed Manny chat. Today I wanted to do what they've coined jelly sandwich. Kelly Marissa, I watch her channel on YouTube, and she does a lot of like reviews for nail polish releases, and she talks about jelly sandwiches, which is basically using a jelly polish and sandwiching a different polish in between. I'm using Stacy Sparkle Sauce Purple People Eater as my sandwich meat, and Malibu ILNP for the jelly. And then I'm going to put on the ILNP Lockup base coat and finish it all off with ILNP Glass Candy Top Coat. So let's get started. It's been a minute since I did my nails because when I did my nails last week, I absolutely fell in love with my ILNP polished nails using Power Surge. It's one of their new magnetic polishes that was released 2 weeks ago, and I just loved it. What I ended up doing was I added Color Street's Eat Your Heart Out, and it just was so awesome. Like, I loved it so much. I didn't want to take it off, and also I was under the weather, so just didn't have the energy to do very much of anything. So not quite sure if it was COVID or not. I didn't want to test for it because I just didn't feel it was necessary. On the days when I was not feeling well, I was working remotely anyway. So what I did do though was I stayed away from people, so I didn't go to my workout classes or anything like that at Get Fit Factory, and I just kind of worked and then literally would eat and sleep, and that was pretty much it. So luckily my nail polish, my polished fingers with ILNP stayed relatively like nice and almost new looking. I got a little bit of wear on the tips, which I just used the polish and kind of just blended in again on the tips, and that wasn't really hard. And yeah, like, it was great. But starting yesterday, probably Monday, or yesterday, but for sure yesterday. But on Monday, I started seeing growth because, you know, your nails grow. So if you have your polish on for a bit, you're going to see natural growth right here by the cuticle area. And so that always bothers me when I do my nails and that starts happening. And so I was about ready to do a new mani, and I noticed that the last time I posted on YouTube was about a week ago, so it was time. So yeah. But I wanted to show how quickly ILNP polishes like dry, because I'm doing this on my lunch break, and I wanted to show off that it could be done in less than an hour, and you're out the door. But so base coat is on. Jellies are really sheer, translucent polishes. This one, Malibu, I really like was excited to get because it was released and I just loved the color of it. So I'm just going to paint that really quick. Do a little bit of cleanup work as we go. I really need one of those like brushes for using to do cleanup work. I was watching Simply Nail Logical. I think that's the name of the channel. She's the one that has Hollow Taco, and she was showing how to, like, I guess, nail polish 101, like how to prep your nails and paint your nails or whatever. And so I was watching that, And I thought that was really cool. She has this brush that she uses to like kind of clean off the nail polish if it gets on the skin, and I want one of those. So that might be on my next purchase list when I make my next purchase. But yeah, if you are tuning back into this channel and wondering, hey, where's the Color Street? I'm taking a tiny break from Color Street only because I found these polishes that I really wanted to try out, and so I may mix in Color Street here and there with the polishes, but for now I am going to be painting my nails. I don't know. There's a Color Street Color Play sub box that is on its way to me, so I might end up doing my nails with Color Street in the next week or so. But for now, I really wanted to do this jelly sandwich, as I mentioned, and also I wanted to use the magnetic polish again. I don't know if I'll do Power Surge. I might do Drown My Demons from Mooncat, but I got this horseshoe magnet, which I ordered off of, I guess, one of the Walmart affiliates, and it's a 20-pound pull. It was supposed to be a 22-pound pull, which was what was advertised, but I looked at the box and it says 20-pound pull. Luckily, my thumb, which is my fattest finger, fits between the horseshoe curve, and so that was the whole point of getting like a larger pound pull magnet, because the smaller ones, if you're pulling like 10 pounds or less, the magnet's gonna be smaller and my thumb's not gonna fit through that. But luckily the 20-pound one does fit my thumb almost perfectly, actually, and so I will be using that to do a velvetized magnetic polish mani pretty soon. Most people use the 30-pound pull magnet, I guess probably because the size of it will allow for all of the fingers to fit comfortably in the curve of the magnet, but luckily the 20-pound one I purchased fits my fingers. It was less than $20 I had spent on it. The 30-pound pull magnets were like 30 bucks. So I'm like, that's a little steep for a hobby, right? If I needed it for something work related or whatever, then it made sense to spend that kind of money. But yeah, so I settled for a smaller magnet, and hopefully it'll work out just the same. So we'll find out next time when I do a mani with that magnet. But alright, so one layer of Malibu. Of course, this is not it yet. So we are going to be layering Stacy Sparkle Sauce. If you don't know Stacy Adams, link below to her Facebook group and her YouTube channel. She created this awesome glitter polish. I love purple. Purple is my favorite color. I especially love like royal purple and like indigo. That's like the purple that I'm really like into. And then emerald green, and of course like the sage minty green is also on top of my favorite colors. But this glitter polish is so beautiful, and it's gonna be part of my jelly sandwich if I can open it. I didn't think this one through as far as painting my nails and not having Panda Bear here, my significant other, to help me open up bottles. Okay, but I got it open, so crisis averted. Alright. But yeah, last week, sorry about that. Last week, I was not feeling well, so it was literally like I didn't do anything. I didn't bake any sourdough bread for Panda. I didn't go to my workout classes. Like, I just rested. And another thing that's been bothering me, but I was trying to push it going to my workout classes anyway, but decided to kind of hold back a little bit, is that I might have torn my rotator cuff on my left shoulder. And that's my predominant hand is my left hand. And so like lifting heavy things like the copier fuser at work, or laundry baskets. We have very heavy laundry baskets due to the sheer amount of laundry. But like things like that, as well as going to like kickboxing classes and stuff, seems to have aggravated the injury. And so I decided to kind of hold back from working out with cardio kickboxing. I was taking dance classes, my groove hip hop class and Zumba classes with a sling. I was wearing a sling to kind of hold my shoulder and arm like in place. But after not feeling so well, and the injury not healing itself as quickly as I want it to, I decided to kind of back off of attending workout classes too. So, did go to an acupuncture appointment, which helped a lot, and I've continued to ice and keep my arm in the sling during waking hours, and so it has helped. The pain has decreased immensely, but still it is not healed. And apparently those kinds of injuries, if not going through the surgery route, which I don't want to do the surgery route, if I'm going to do it that way, I have to, it's just time. Continuing to wait for it to heal naturally. So continuing to ice, probably going to have another acupuncture appointment in the near future. And yeah, refrain from lifting heavy things and repetitive motions like punching the air. So yeah, it's quite a bummer, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, on a less depressing note, so currently on my audiobooks list, what I should mention is that I finished Warm Bodies. Again, I forgot the name of the author of that book, but Panda Bear and I watched Warm Bodies, the movie, and he seemed to enjoy watching it with me, of course. He said he probably wouldn't have watched that movie on his own. And then I finished with Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game, and we watched that movie recently too. And so the movie was kind of rushed, I feel like, but that's what happens with books translated to movies. I almost feel like Ender's Game ought to have been like a series. And this is also the same with the Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series. You know, he originally started out with allowing movies to be made of his books, but they also felt rushed, and he then changed it up, and now on Disney Plus you have the Percy Jackson like series, which I thought was much better as far as just staying true to the book and allowing for a lot of the different scenes in the books to manifest in live viewing form on the TV. And so I feel like Orson Scott Card ought to think about, if anyone's going to offer it to him, like creating an Ender's Game series, I would totally watch it. But yeah. But overall, the movie wasn't bad. It's just that it felt a little rushed. And the current book that I'm listening to, most of the books are audiobooks. I am reading a book, like an ebook, which is by Dana K. White. She has a YouTube channel. She's got a blog, A Slob Comes Clean, and she has a book about managing the household without losing your mind. I don't remember the exact title of the book right now, and the phone I'm recording this video on is the one that has the book, so I can't really go and check the name for y'all. But Dana K. White is the author, and I had listened to an audiobook of hers about just cleaning and all that, and now I'm listening to like managing the household, which, well, I'm not listening to that one, I'm reading that one, I should say. Oh, my brain. Anyways, so that's the ebook that I'm currently reading. I am also kind of going through some of the old books that I read as a child, because Lilith, one of my nieces, we are having her start reading chapter books, and I have to like refresh my memory of those books, and so I've been reviewing all of those books, as well as, you know, partaking in books for pleasure. And the latest ebook, or the latest audiobook that I'm listening to, is so raunchy. It was recommended from the Libby app, and the author, I don't recall the name of the author right now, but the book is called The Kissing Quotient. The author is of Asian descent, and the characters are mostly like Asian, of Asian descent. So very similar to me. For those who don't know, I'm ABC, American-born Chinese, and yeah, but the book is called Kissing Quotient, and it is so raunchy, like so raunchy, to the point where I'm like almost embarrassed when I'm listening to it on my lunch break at work at the office. I have to double check, triple check even, that my headphones are not too loud where people can hear what I'm listening to, because it's literally so raunchy. But entertaining it is. It's definitely entertaining, and so I am continuing to listen to it. Panda Bear and I went to Planet Fitness yesterday after work, and I was on the treadmill, doing an hour on the treadmill, and I was listening to the book, and I was just like, I kept having to glance around to make sure that no one can hear my headphones, because God forbid that someone hears the raunchiness of this book that I'm listening to. Yeah, uber embarrassing that would be. But yes. So other than that, the kids, the girls, Amalika and Lilith, had their very first swim lesson last week, and they were really nervous about getting into the pool, and it was only a 20-minute session with LA Waterworks, and the instructor's name was Ashley. Towards the end of their 20 minutes, though, they really were like warming up to the whole swim lesson, and so they really wanted to have a much longer swim lesson the second time around. However, when we went to take the kids to the swim lesson on Saturday, so the group of kids that were having lessons right before Lilith's and Amalika's lesson, one of them threw up in the pool. And so they had to get everyone out of the pool, clean up the pool, and fix the chlorine levels. And that was going to take way longer than, any of us had time for. So their swim lessons got canceled. And so it was quite a disappointment, actually, because the kids were really looking forward to their swim lesson. And so one consolation prize of that happening was that Johnny Rockets was very close by, literally across the street from the LA Fitness where the swim lesson was. And so Panda Bear and I were able to take the girls to lunch at Johnny Rockets. They've never been, and Johnny Rockets has changed their food immensely. Their fries are not the same fries I'm used to. When I was in high school, my friends and I would go eat at Johnny Rockets at the mall all the time. It was our hangout spot. We put quarters into the little mini jukeboxes so that we can play music we want to hear, and then we would order our order and eat. I would always order their chili cheese fries and a root beer float. That was my order. And so I did that when we were at Johnny Rockets on Saturday. But their fries are different, and the way they don't use glasses anymore for their root beer floats. They use to-go cups, those normal soda cups, which is kind of a bummer and disappointment, because it really takes away from the whole experience of Johnny Rockets, which is stepping back into time, into the 1950s or whatever, where you have little 50s diners. You're supposed to be getting that kind of feel from Johnny Rockets, and it's no longer that. So, the food is still tasty. So, but as far as the dining experience, it's not the same. And so that may be our last time going there. Which is fine, being able to kind of just experience Johnny Rockets again and think of high school days and all of that. Things have really changed. So I can cross that off the list as something that I don't need to do anymore, which is go to Johnny Rockets. But yeah. And then Panda Bear ordered some kind of sandwich. I think it was a chicken sandwich, or was it a burger? I can't remember, but he was oh, inflation burger, because it was tinier than he remembered Johnny Rockets being. He said it was still tasty, so still tasty, but for the price and the size, it just wasn't really worth it to him. So yeah, no more Johnny Rockets for us. When there's places when we go road tripping and we go to Culver's in Utah, and it's the price and the size of the burgers and the orders of stuff kind of match our expectations of what to expect for that price point. When you've got stuff like that, then it's it's not worth spending for less than what you would expect. So spending more for less than what you expect is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, my brain. Oh, my brain. And then on Sunday, got to spend some quality time with the Rents, my parents. We went to eat at this one Chinese barbecue cafe place that does like roast duck, roast pork, and all of that stuff. And what I've been wanting to have ever since we took my mom to this place in Las Vegas that had this baked pastry almond tea. Ever since then, in April, like I've been craving one of those. And this place, this cafe, this barbecue cafe, supposedly has this on their menu. But the past 3 times that I've gone with my family, they said that, oh, they're out or they can't do it. You have to order in advance and all of that. And so this time around, my mom called in and told them, hey, we're going to be by around 2 and we want to have one of those. And they said, okay. And so, thank you, Mom. When we got there, she had let them know, like when we were ordering, oh yeah, I called in. And they're like, oh, well, for that, you have to order at least 2. And my mom's like, okay, that's fine. 2, we'll have 2 of them. And so I got to have one all to myself, and Panda Bear and the Rents shared the second one. Only towards the end, like, they were all so full of the food that we had ordered that I got to finish the second one too. So, yeah. Little Miss Piggy me got to really thoroughly enjoy the baked pastry almond tea, which is only like 200 or so calories, really, because the baked pastry is just like phyllo dough, but not like a whole lot of it. And then it's just almond milk tea in the middle that's baked into the phyllo dough. And so it's really delicious. Oh, and there's like ginkgo nuts at the bottom. So yeah, super delicious. Highly recommended if you like almond milk tea and pastries. Who doesn't like pastries? I guess people that are allergic to gluten. But if you're not allergic to gluten, baked pastry almond milk tea. Highly recommend. So this right here is the jelly sandwich nails. You've got the layer of jelly on the bottom, and then the glitter layer in between, and then another layer of the jelly on top. I'm going to end the video here. I know I still need to do a top coat, which I will be doing, but I have run out of things to say. And so, with that said, if you've watched all the way to the end of this video here, shorter than normal, which is really cool, I wonder if there's an emoji of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know if there is or not. But if not, let's have you put like a pink heart. There's like a heart. It's like a heart that's like got a Cupid's arrow straight through it. That could be the emoji you leave in the comments if you don't have any other comments you want to leave, or just leave a comment with what you think of this jelly sandwich here. And yeah, I will see you all next time. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time. Peace.